Well, today is the 13th of May, and I did give an update yesterday. We went for a walk in Palma Nova, ended up in Barbuda Beach and had a lovely dinner there. It was really good. So I have done an update recently, but I thought I'd do another one just to bring everyone up to date with all the things that have been happening this week and some of the latest news that I have. So I suppose it started on Monday when I announced that the president of Mallorca went off to Germany, and she went to meet the tour operators there, seemed to have forgotten all about the UK, and to tell the Germans how safe Mallorca is, how low the incidence rate is, and how welcome German tourists would be. One of the things she announced there was the insurance for tourists, where if a tourist had to go into quarantine, a hotel was going to be provided completely free of charge for however long the tourist needs to be in quarantine. Sounds good, but if you're going to be in a quarantine hotel, you're going to be confined to your room for however long that might be. 2 weeks. Confined to a room, it's almost like being put in prison. And then on the following day, the Minister for Tourism announced that UK travellers would be welcome in Mallorca, not just in Mallorca, but in the whole of Spain, from the 20th of May. And it wouldn't require any vaccine or proof of vaccination or any PCR test. They'd just be welcome to come, because there is such low rates in the UK and also high rates of vaccination. So that seemed to be another step in the right direction for UK travellers to come here. So the date for UK travellers has been brought forward from the end of May to the 20th. However, if you come, you've still got to go back to the UK, and when you go, you still need that PCR test, you still need to go into quarantine for 10 days, you'd still need 2 more tests when you get back, and that's because Spain is on the amber list, not the green list. And Mallorca is pushing very strongly now to go onto that green list and to be considered separate from the mainland of Spain. So the Balearic Islands have got the lowest incident rates of COVID that they've ever had. It's gone right down. Today, the lowest rate numbers since last July were announced. The vaccinations are picking up really fast. They've just brought in a new vaccine, the Janssen vaccine, which is a one jab go, so you don't need to have a booster. And so everything is really positive here, and Mallorca in particular, the Baleares, want to be on that green list for travellers from the UK. So that really depends on Boris Johnson and what he does, and he's not predicted to do the review until June the 7th. So June the 7th is the next key date for that. Some other news which came as a bit of a surprise was that the La Liga have been allowed to accept spectators to certain football matches. So Real Mallorca have got 4 matches left, and those 4 matches, well, the matches that are here in Mallorca, will be able to have spectators because we've got such a low incidence rate, but not many spectators. Just over 4,000 are going to be allowed in. It's all going to be done by a raffle, so we've got to put our names forward to a raffle, and then if we get through that stage, then we can choose our seats. I'm not sure how good a system it's going to be if there's a couple of us. What if one gets a ticket and the other one doesn't? Are you going to go on your own? Maybe we'll just sit and watch it at home. There's only 2 more matches left, 2 more home matches left, 2 home, 2 away. And we need 6 points to make sure that we go up to La Liga. But an interesting move, and I know a lot of my friends will actually try to get tickets for those matches, and I wish them all the best of luck. Some other little snippets of news. Some of you may have read that a few weeks ago the speed limits were reduced here in Mallorca on the motorway. It went down to 80 on the road that circulates the Palma, and actually in the city of Palma the speed limit went down to 30 on many of the roads, 30 kilometers per hour. That's really slow. Well, on Tuesday that became national throughout Spain. So if you're coming to Spain, just be very careful of the new speed limits They're going out, and they've got mobile speed traps now, and I guess they need to get some money in, so you could get prosecuted if you're hiring a car and speeding, and they'll be on the spot fine, so you've got to pay them. Other news, something interesting, a former pupil of ours, Sandra Seeling-Lipsky, who's an actress. She's German originally, but went off to America and became an actress over there, but she's back in Mallorca, and each year she comes and holds the Evolution Mallorca International Film Festival, and a lot of films get screened here in Mallorca for the first time. It's our Academy Awards. And this year she's trying something different because cinemas are having a hard time of it at the moment, so she's introducing a drive-in movie. So later on this month we're going to have drive-in movies, and most of them are going to be in Spanish, obviously, but there's going to be some in the original language, and you just turn up in your car, pay your €10 per person, and you'll be able to watch a drive-in movie, and I think that's quite an interesting little innovation for Mallorca. I saw a photo from one of the ferries that was coming over to Mallorca, and somebody saying, what are all these vans and cycles doing coming over to Mallorca? Well, it's the Mallorca Challenge, and there are hundreds of cyclists here. There's always hundreds of cyclists here, but there's lots at the moment, and they are doing the round the island challenges, and the first one today was the Calvia Trophy, and that was actually won by a South African. So if you're on the roads in Mallorca at the moment, look out for those cyclists. As I said earlier, we went to Palma Nova yesterday, and when we were walking along we decided to stop off at a restaurant. We stopped off at the Barbuda beach and we had dinner there. And that's been great. It's something we've missed because we usually go out at the weekends and perhaps go for dinner with some friends, and that's not been possible recently because the restaurants had to close at 5 o'clock. Well, now they can stay open right through till 10:30 at night, and they will be open this weekend. So this will be the first weekend when they will be open. It is, however, on the terraces. They still can't open on the interiors. And that will change, possibly not this weekend, but next weekend. But not for all restaurants, apparently. It's only those that don't have terraces. Those that don't have terraces are not able to open at all at the moment. One of our favourite restaurants just down the road from where we live, Hesreco de Geneva, doesn't have a terrace, so they've been closed for weeks and weeks and weeks, unable to open. And hopefully then, after I think the 23rd of May, they will be open from the interior, or will be able to open from the interior. But places that have terraces, apparently, are only going to be able to use the terrace and not the interior. So the restaurateurs and their organisations are protesting to the government and saying, well, why can't we open? And it maybe seems a rather strange rule that if some can open on the inside and some can't open on the inside, it doesn't seem to be quite a fair situation. So I'll keep my eye on that one and see how it progresses. I've just seen an article from Francina Armengal. She's the president of Mallorca. She's the one that's been off to Germany, and she's the one who is in charge of the government here in the Balearic Islands. And she's announced today, Thursday, that if the whole of Spain had the same figures as the Balearic Islands, then Spain would be on the UK's green list. Unfortunately, the whole of Spain does not have the same figures as Mallorca and the rest of the Balearic Islands. In some parts of Spain they are sky high, and when the government in the UK look at Spain, they don't see just Mallorca, they see everybody's figures, and when they're all averaged out, it looks as though everybody's got really high rates, when in fact the Balearic Islands are really very, very low. So hopefully she can get that message over to those responsible in the UK, and maybe we'll see the Balearic Islands put on that green list come June the 7th. Let's hope so. And just to finish off with a little bit of a weather update, the weather seems to have settled. After the storms of Monday and threatened storms of Tuesday, everything seems to have settled down. The skies have cleared. We had beautiful blue skies yesterday and blue skies today. The sun's shining, temperatures are nice and not too hot, sort of mid-20s, and it's looking pretty settled for the next week. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, then please give us the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll try and make another update as soon as there's more news to tell you. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.